Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. This evening, a health warning after a Sarasota man died from eating a raw oyster at a local restaurant. That oyster was contaminated with a bacteria that in certain situations can become flesh-eating.
ABC 7's Jackie Kelly talked with the Florida Department of Health about how to keep yourself safe. Jackie, what can you tell us?
Scott, Jacqueline, the Florida Department of Health tells me that you can get sick from this bacteria in two different ways, from eating raw seafood or from swimming in salt water with an open wound. Now, you can contract this illness year-round, but it's more prevalent in the summer months.
Eating seafood or taking a swim in the water may seem like an essential summertime pastime, but you should be careful of the bacteria Vibrio vulnificus, which pops up more with the heat.
So Vibrio is a bacteria, and it lives in salt water or brackish water, so any water that has salt in it, and it's there essentially all the time.
If you eat raw seafood such as oysters, which are bottom feeders that filter water, you could be at risk. The Florida Department of Health says if you are infected, you could see these signs.
Diarrhea, fever, general symptoms like associated with a GI or gastrointestinal illness. That can progress to a more severe illness where you get the bacteria in your blood, causing you to be more sick.
One local chef says restaurants do their best to make sure guests are aware of the dangers of raw seafood.
We are required by the state health department to post that warning on our menu for people to consume raw seafood and raw oysters. It's clearly stated on everybody's menu that there is a risk associated with that, particularly if you are elderly or have a reduced immune system.
He also says some people use the trick of only eating raw seafood during the months that end with R.
Summertime, May, June, July, there are no R's in there, the water's warmer, and so the bacteria that is potentially hazardous to some people is more prevalent.
Another way of contracting the illness is from going into salt water with an open wound.
That site may look tender, raw, be warm to the touch, kind of appear like a skin infection, and then once again, as the bacteria progresses or infection progresses, can get in the blood, causing a more severe illness.
Now we can tell you that that man who passed away was 71 years old, which makes him more at risk with this bacteria. He died just 2 days after he got sick. The Florida Department of Health says if you're seeing any of these symptoms, to get medical assistance immediately. Reporting live from Sarasota, Jackie Kelly, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.